Hello, okay, we are continuing from where we stopped. Um, Network had been really brutal, but regardless, we are going to continue. I had been reading, not knowing that network had kicked me out like entirely. I just discovered that I wasn't live again, so I still have to continue. I needed to restart it. So okay, I'm sharing the link so that others can join. Okay. All right, so I'm continuing. Okay, let me go back to I've been reading all the way. Okay, let me just continue from 35. Elihu spake moreover and said, Thinkest thou this is thinkest thou this to be right, that thou said, My righteousness is more than God's? But thou said, What advantage will it be unto thee, and what profit shall I have, if I be cleansed from my sin? I will answer thee and my companions with thee. Look unto the heavens and see, and behold the clouds which are higher than thou. If thou sinnest, what doest thou against him? What doest thou against him? Or if thy transgressions be multiplied, what doest thou against him? If thou be righteous, what givest thou him, or what receiveth he of thy hand? Thy wickedness may hurt a man as thou art, and thy righteousness may profit the Son of Man. By reason of the multitude of oppressions, they make the oppressed to cry. They cry out by reason of the arm of the mighty. But none said, Where is God my Maker, who giveth songs in the night, who teacheth us more than the beasts of the earth, and maketh us wiser than the fowl of the heaven? Where they cry, but none giveth answer, because the pride of evil men. Surely God will not hear vanity, neither will the Almighty regard it. Although thou sayest, Thou shalt not see him, yet judgment is before him. Therefore trust thou in him. But now, because it is not so, he hath visited in his anger, yet he knoweth it not in great extremity. Therefore did Job open his mouth in vain, he multiplied word without knowledge. Elihu also proceeded and said, Suffer me a little, and I will show thee that I have yet to speak on God's behalf. I will fetch my knowledge from afar, and will ascribe righteousness to my Maker. For truly my word shall not be false, shall not be false. He that is perfect in knowledge is with thee. Behold, God is mighty and despiseth not in He is mighty in strength and wisdom. He preserveth not the life of the wicked, but giveth right to the poor. He withdraweth not his eye from the righteous, but with kings are they on the throne. Yea, he doth establish them forever, and they are exalted. And if they be found in fetters, and be holding in court of affliction, then he showeth them their work and their transgressions that they have exceeded. He opened also their ears to discipline, and commanded that they return from iniquity. If they obey and serve him, they shall spend their days in prosperity, and their years in pleasure. But if they obey not, they shall perish by the sword, and they shall die without knowledge. But the hypocrites in heart heap up wrath. They cry not when he bindeth them. They die in youth, and their life is among the unclean. He delivered the poor in his affliction, and openeth his ears in the oppression. Even so would he have removed thee out of the strait into the broad place, where there is no straightness, and that which shall be set on thy table shall be full of fatness. But thou hast fulfilled the judgment of the wicked. Judgment and justice take hold on thee, because there is wrath. Beware lest he take thee away with his stroke. Then a great ransom cannot deliver thee. Will he esteem thy riches? No, not gold, not all the forces of strength. Desire not the night when people are cut off in their place. Take heed, regard not iniquity, for this hast thou chosen rather than affliction. Behold, God exalted by his power, who teacheth like him, who have enjoined him his way, or who can say, Thou hast wrought iniquity. Remember that thou magnify his work, which men behold. Every man may see it. Man may behold it afar off. Behold, God is great, and we know him not. Neither can the number of his years be searched out. For he maketh small the drops of water, they pour down rain according to the vapor thereof, which the cloud do drop and distill upon man abundantly. Also can any understand the spreads of the cloud or the noise of the tabernacle? Behold, he spreadeth the light upon it, and covereth it not to shine by the clouds. Okay. Behold, he spreadeth the light upon it, and covereth the bottom of the sea. For by them judgeth he the people. He giveth meat in abundance. With clouds he covereth the light, and commandeth it not to shine by the cloud that cometh betwixt. The noise thereof showeth concern concerning it. The cattle also concerning the vapor. 37. At this also my heart trembled and moved out of place. Hear attentively the noise of his voice and the sound that goeth out of his mouth. He directed it under the whole heaven, and his lighting unto the end of the earth. After it a voice roareth. He thundereth with the voice of excellency, and he will not stay them when the voice is heard. God thundereth marvelously with his voice. Great things doeth he, which we cannot comprehend. For he said to the snow, Be thou on the earth, likewise to the small rain, and to the great rain of his strength. He sealed up the hand of every man, that all may know his work. When the beasts go into the den and remain in his places. Out of the south cometh the whirlwind, and the cold out of the north. By the breath of God frost is given, and the breath of the waters is straightened. Also by watching he wearieth the thick cloud. He scattereth his bright cloud, and it turneth round about by the council, for that they may do whatsoever he commanded them unto the face of the whole of the world in the earth. He causeth it to come, whether for correction or for his land or for mercy. Hearken unto this, O Job, stand still and consider the wondrous work of God. Dost thou know when God disposeth them and caused the light of his cloud to shine? Dost thou know the balancing of the cloud and the wondrous work of him which is perfect in knowledge? How thy garments are warm when he quieted the earth by the south wind. As thou with him spread out the sky, which is strong, and as a molten looking glass. Teach us what we shall say unto him, for we cannot order our speech by reason of darkness. Shall it be told him that I speak? If a man speak, surely he shall be swallowed up. And now men see not the bright light which is in the clouds, but the wind passeth and thinseth them. Fair weather cometh out of the north, with God his terrible majesty. Touching the Almighty, we cannot find him out. He is excellent in power and in judgment, and in plenty of justice. He will not afflict. Men do therefore fear him. He respecteth not any that are wise of heart. Wow. Chapter 38. Then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, Who is this that darkeneth counsel by words without knowledge? Wow. Get up now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and answer thou me. Okay, where was thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? Declare, if thou hast understanding. Who had laid the measure thereof, if thou knowest, or who had stretched the line upon it? Whereupon are the foundations thereof fastened, or who laid the cornerstone thereof? When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy, or who shut up the sea with doors? When it brake forth as if it had issued out of the womb. When I made the cloud the garment thereof, and the thick darkness a swaddling band for it, and break up for it my decreed place, and set bars and doors, and said, Hitherto shalt thou come, not but no further, and here shall thy proud waves be stayed. Hast thou commanded the mountain since the morning, since thy days? Let me take that again. Hast thou commanded the morning since thy days, and caused the day spring to know his place, that it might take hold of the end of the earth, that the wicked might be shaken out of it? If it turned as clay to the seal, and they stand as a garment. Okay, 13. It is turned as clay to the sea, and they stand as a garment. And from the wicked their light is withholden, and the high arm shall be broken. Hast thou entered into the spring of the sea, or hast thou walkest in the search of the depth? Has the gate of death been opened unto thee? Or hast thou seen the doors of the shadows of death? Hast thou perceived the breadth of the earth? Declare if thou knowest it all. Wow. Where is the way where light dwelleth? And as for darkness, where is the place thereof? That thou shouldest take it to the bounds thereof, and thou shouldest know the path of the house thereof. Knowest thou it, because thou wast then born? Okay. Knowest thou it, because thou wast then born, or because the number of thy days is great? Hast thou entered into the treasures of the snow, or hast thou seen the treasures of the hill, which I have reserved against the time of trouble, against the day of battle and war? But what way is by what way is the light parted, which scattereth the east wind upon the earth? Who had delivered a water course for the overflowing of waters, or a way for the lightning of thunder, to cause it to rain on the earth where no man is, on the wilderness therein there is no man, to satisfy the desolate and waste ground, and to cause the bud of the tender herb to spring forth? At the rain a father, or who hath begotten the drops of dew? Out of those womb came the eyes, the hairy frost of the heaven. Who hath gendered it? The waters are hid as with a stone, and the face of the deep is frozen. Canst thou bind the sweet influence of Pleiades, or loose the bands of Orion? Canst thou bring forth Mazzaroth in a season, or canst thou guide Arcturus with his son? Knowest thou the ordinance of heaven? Canst thou set the dominance thereof in the earth? Canst thou lift up the voice of the clouds, that abundance of waters may cover it? Canst thou send lightning, that they may go and say unto thee, Here are we? Who hath put wisdom in the inward part, or who hath given understanding to the heart? Who can number the clouds in wisdom, or who can stay the bottles of heaven? When the doors groweth into hardness, and the clods cleave fast together, wilt thou hunt the prey for the lion, or fill the appetite of the young lions? when they couch in their dens and abide in the covert to lie in wait? Who provided for the raven his food? When his young ones cry unto God, they wander for lack of meat. Knowest thou the time when the wild goat of the rock bring forth? Or canst thou mark when the hinge of do calve? Canst thou number the months that they fulfill? Or knowest thou the time when they bring forth? They bow themselves, they bring forth their young ones, they cast out their sorrow. Their young ones are in wood liking, they grow up with corn, they go forth and return not unto them. Who hath sent out the wild ass free? Or who hath loosed the bands of the wild ass? Whose house I have made the wilderness, and the barren land his dwellings. He scorned the multitude of the city, neither regarded he the crying of the driver. The range of the mountains is his pasture, and searcheth after every green thing. Will the unicorn be willing to serve thee, or abide by the creed? Canst thou bind the unicorn with his band in the furrow, or will he harrow the valley after thee? Will thou trust him because his strength is great, or wilt thou leave the labor to him? Wilt thou believe him that he will bring home thy seed and gather it into the barn? Givest thou the goodly wings unto the peacocks, or wings and feathers unto the ostrich, which leaveth her egg in the air, and warmeth them in dust, and forgetteth that the foot may crush them, or that the wild beast may break them. She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. For labor is in vain without fear, because God hath deprived her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. What time she lifted up herself on high, she scorned the horse as the rider. Hast thou given the horse strength? Hast thou clothed his neck with thunder? Canst thou make him afraid of a grasshopper? The glory of his nostril is terrible. He poureth in the valley, and rejoiceth in the strength. He goeth on to meet the armed men. He mocketh at fear. He mocketh at fear, and he is not affrighted, neither turneth he back from the sword. The quiver rattleth against him, the glittering spear and the shield. He swalloweth the ground with fierceness and rage, neither believeth he that it is the sound of trumpet. He said among the trumpet, Ha ha! And he smelleth the battle afar off, and the thunder of the captains, and the shouting. Doth the hawk fly by thy wisdom, and stretch her wing toward the south? Doth the eagle mount up at thy command, and make her nest on high? She dwelleth and abideth on the rock, upon the crag of the rock, and the strong place. From thence she seeketh the prey, and her eye behold afar off. Her young ones also suck up blood, and where the slain are, there she is. Wow. But moreover, the Lord answered Job and said, Shall he that contendeth with the Almighty instruct him? He that reproveth God, let him answer it. And Job answered the Lord and said, Behold, I am vile, and shall I answer thee? I will lay my hand upon my mouth. Once I have spoken, but I will not answer, yea, twice, but I will proceed no further. Then answered the Lord unto Job out of the whirlwind and said, Get up thy loin now like a man. I will demand of thee, and declare thou unto me. Wilt thou also disannul my judgment? Wilt thou condemn me, that thou mayest be righteous? Hast thou an arm like God, or canst thou thunder with a voice like him? Deck thyself now with majesty and excellence, and array thyself with glory and beauty. Cast abroad the rage of thy wrath, and behold everyone that is proud, and abase him. Look on everyone that is proud and bring him low. Wow. And tread down the wicked in their place. Hide them in the dust together and bring their face in secret. Then will I also confess unto thee that thine own hand can save thee. Behold, now behemoth which I made. Behold now behemoth which I made with thee, he eateth grass as an ox. Lo now, his strength is in his loins, and his force is in the navel of his belly. He moveth his tail like a cedar. The sinew of his stones are wrapped together. His bones are strong pieces of brass. His bones are like bars of iron. He is the chief of the ways of God. He that made him can make his sword to approach unto him. Surely the mountains bring him forth food, where all the beasts of the field play. He lieth under the shady trees in the covert of the reed and fens. The shady trees cover him with their shadow. The willows of the brook compass him about. Behold, he drinketh up a river and hasteth not. He trusted that he can draw up Jordan into his mouth. Wow. He taketh it with his eye. His nostril pierceth through snares. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook, or his tongue with a cord, which thou lettest down? Canst thou put a hook into his nose, or bear his jaw through with a thorn? Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? Wilt thou play with him as with a bird, or wilt thou bind him for the maidens? Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Canst thou fill his skins with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Lay thine hand upon him. Remember the battle. Do no more. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? None is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before him? Who hath prevented him that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. Who can discover the face of his garment? Or who can come to him with his double girdle? Who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a close seal. One is so near to another that no air can come between them. Wow. They are joined one to another. They stick together that they cannot be sundered. By his neesings a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils goeth smoke as out of a seething pot or cauldron. His breath kindleth coals, and the flame goeth out of his mouth. In his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves, they cannot be moved. His heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. When he raiseth up himself, the mighty are afraid by reason of the breakings. They purify themselves. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold. The spear, the dart, nor the habergeon. He esteemeth iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood. The arrow cannot make him flee. Sling stone are turned with him into a stubble. That accounted as stubble. He laughed at the shaking of a spear. Sharp stones are under him. He spreaded sharp pointing things upon the mire. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. He maketh a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary. Upon earth there is not his like, who is made without fear. He beholdeth the things, he beholdeth all high things. He is a king over all the children of pride. Chapter 42. Then Job answered the Lord and said, I know that thou canst do everything, and that no thought can be withholden from thee. Who is he that hideth counsel without knowledge? Therefore have I uttered that I understood not things too wonderful for me, which I knew not. Hear, I beseech thee, and I will speak. I will demand of thee, and declare thou unto me. I have heard of thee by the hearing of the ear, but now my eye seeth thee. Wherefore I abhor myself, and I repent in dust and ashes. And it was so, that after the Lord had spoken these words unto Job, the Lord said to Eliphaz and Teman, my wrath is kindled against thee, and against thy two friends, for ye have not spoken to me the thing that is right, as my servant Job has. Therefore take unto you now 7 bullocks and 7 rams, and go to my servant Job, and offer up yourself a burnt offering, and offer up for yourselves a burnt offering, and my servant Job shall pray for thee. For him will I accept, lest I deal with you after your folly. In that ye have not heard, in that ye have not spoken of me the thing which is right, like my servant Job. So Eliphaz and Teman and Bildad and Shuthite and Zophar the Naamathite went and did according as the Lord commanded them. The Lord also accepted Job, and the Lord turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. Also the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. Then came there unto him all his brethren and all his sisters, and all they that had been of his acquaintance before, and did eat bread with him in his house, and they bemoaned him and comforted him over all the evil that the Lord had brought upon him. Every man also gave him a piece of money, and every one an earring of gold. So the Lord blessed the latter end of Job more than his beginning, for he had 14,000 sheep, and 6,000 camels, and 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 she asses. He had also 7 sons and 3 daughters, and he called the name of the first Jemimah. Wow. Jemimah. And the name of the second Keziah. The name of the third Keren-Happuch. And in all the lands were no women so fair as the daughters of Job. And their father gave them inheritance, among their brethren. And after this lived Job 140 years, and saw his sons and his sons' sons, even 4 generations. So Job died, being old and full of days. Whoa. So long. Wow. Let me stretch. Wow. This is wow. Okay, so we are going to just make a summary, bring out important things we've learned from this story from this Bible, from the um portions we've read. Okay, let me point them out. Point them out. Okay, so first of all, from where we started, we saw the failure of human wisdom as Job's friends, spoke, and